Good evening, everyone. We're going to start shortly. All right, so welcome all in the weekly webinar of Week Ahead with Religare Technicals. So in this webinar, we talk about markets, how the market performed during the passing week, the performance of the key sectors, and followed by the top 5 gainers and losers from the Nifty 50 basket. In the following slides, we talk about our view, what we are anticipating in the next week. Especially in the key indices, Nifty and Banking Index, followed by some of these stocks which are looking technically strong or weak for the next week, which one can consider. And then we end the session with a quick poll to get the feedback about the session. And then we end this with a Q&A. So anything related to the webinar, the topic that we present, sectors that we're going to talk about, anything related to that, you can ask your questions. No stock specific queries. Please, considering that the idea is to share the insight, which is beneficial for the larger audience, not for an individual. So let's get started with a quick disclaimer on, as we just shared that the idea is to share the insight. It's not a trading or an investment recommendation. So before taking any decision based on the information shared, please check with your financial advisor. All right, so both the key indices, Nifty, Sensex, slipped lower, lost over 1% after the last weeks of recovery. So if you remember that last week was marginally positive for us after 2 weeks of consolidation. And there were indication that it might make an attempt to inch higher. That we'll discuss in detail in the following slide. But tone again changed, means this consolidation extended, and both Nifty and Sensex ended lower with a cut of over 1%. Mostly sectors traded in tandem with the benchmark, where in reality metal, FMCG, banking, and IT. They were the top losers. Auto somehow managed to end marginally in the green, thanks to the recent surge in Bajaj Auto. And the other auto majors are also holding around the record highs. So that was the reason basically why auto managed to end green. But the rest of the sector, it was sharp decline. Talking about top 5 gainers from the Nifty 50 basket, like Bajaj Auto, nearly 9% kind of a gains. Then we have recovery in LTIM. If you remember that last week, it was among the losers. So strong recovery in LTIM, SBI Life, Hero MotoCorp, Nestle India, they all contributed on the positive side in the index. At the same time, from the IT space, Wipro being the top losers, roughly around 5% kind of a cut. Divis Lab, Bajaj Finance, UPL, and HUL. All these ended lower and were the top losers in the Nifty 50 basket. So now what we are anticipating, let's come to this point now. If you remember that last time we were discussing about 19,800, 850 being the key area of hurdle. So despite the positivity, we had this clear level in mind that until we break 19,800, 850, possibility of Nifty making advance toward 20,000 level seems unlikely. Considering this area is the previous area of resistance also, that the previous swing high was around that same zone. So Nifty made an attempt, almost inched closer to that mark, but it couldn't surpass. And after that, in the last 3 trading session, we saw that profit taking in the other sectors, especially banking, IT, that will continue to weigh on the sentiments. Downside now, what we expect, this 19,450 to 200 that we have discussed earlier in the earlier webinars also, that continue to act as a support area. So this zone basically this area where we had the maximum number of closes above this zone. So that will continue to act as the immediate support. And then this red line of this broadening formation closer to around 19,200 will be the zone where it should respect in case if this profit taking extends. Upside, the resistance will remain the same, that until we break and sustain above 19,850, I doubt there'll be any meaningful move. On the higher side, and there'll be a recovery. So broadly, this consolidation will continue with bias on the negative side is what charts are indicating. The major area of concern is banking. So last week also we've talked about, like, these two key sectors, IT and banking. Last week they were on the back foot. That's why we were not seeing decisive up move in the index. And this time around we fizzled out for the same reason, that banking, first, it couldn't surpass the short-term averages, 20 EMA, despite the multiple attempts. Next, this, red line that you can see over here. There's a trend line breakdown also, a clear breakdown also that we had in banking index this week. So IT is still comparatively better, though both sectors combined together have 50% of weight. IT, after the initial fall, now we are seeing a bit of a stability. But banking is still not showing any sign of reversal or recovery. In fact, it's showing fresh weakness. So with these kinds of indications from the banking index, possibility of any decisive recovery or rebound in Nifty seems very unlikely. Though today also, we were seeing that some of these private banking majors like SDFC, Kotak, they were trying to help banking index to hold, and that's why it managed to end almost in the flattish note. But with this, just a pause, because after such decisive breakdowns, it's very difficult for any index or stock to maintain or reverse the trend. Obviously, anything can happen, but as of now, there's no indication that this move is going to reverse, very strongly. Plus, the private banking majors like Axis, ICICI, Kotak, SDFC, indications are still not very, decisive, especially for a strong reversal. So keeping that in mind, unlike Nifty, we feel that here we have potential of further decline. This area, 43,500, is basically this support of the retracement support. But we feel that this red line that you can see over here is the key support zone, which is around 43 to 50, 200 days of exponential moving average, which talks about the long-term trend. So that is going to be the first area of support, and then 42,500, this middle red line. So with banking on back foot, that's the reason why we are seeing that Nifty might again make an attempt to break 19,450 and inch further lower. And the only sector that if one has to keep a close eye on, it should be banking for close. Others, they'll continue to witness mixed trend, is what the indications are. Upside, to negate this negativity, we need a close of 44,700 that is intact. In fact, we have an intermediate resistance now at 44,300. So around those levels like 44, 100, 300, look for shorting opportunity in the index. So I hope it's clear that Nifty, though it's weak, but it's comparatively better. We still have certain sectors which are helping the index to cap the damage. Banking is clear-cut bearish. And the long-term average, 43, 200, 250 is going to be the key area of test for the banking index in the next week. Now, let's talk about stock-specific positioning, how we are seeing positioning in the coming week. So first on the list, we have SDFC Life. So mostly life insurance companies, they have declared their numbers. So the uncertainty around this is away, which is a positive side. Another important aspect which is positive for SDFC Life is that this stock, after a breakout from this broadening formation, has retested this neckline area, the breakout area twice, and again witnessing a recovery from the same zone. So gives us this comfort that there is a possibility that it might again make a rebound, and this time around might surpass the previous swing high as well. Plus, since we are seeing weakness in the market, anything which is closer to the support, wherein the risk reward is favorable, is something that one should look at. So SDFC is one candidate wherein we are seeing that this 620, 610 zone is acting as a strong support area. So we expect this rebound to extend further, and SDFC to retest these previous swing high and inch higher. So this is the first stock in the list. Second, Hero MotoCo. So auto was the top performer during the week among the sectoral pack. Bajaj Auto, Hero MotoCo among the top gainers in the Nifty 50 basket. So it's a clear indication we have from the charts also, from the individual charts also, that this move is not going to fizzle out just like that, considering that this consolidation that we had in Hero MotoCo for almost 7-8 months, followed by a breakout and then a marginal consolidation at the higher base, means we had a higher base around the 20 EMA on the weekly chart, followed by a fresh breakout above the previous swing high. So Bajaj Auto is anyways trading at the record highs. TVS is trading at the record highs. So we have now catch up move in the other auto majors like Eicher. We are seeing gradual recovery, and we have a similar kind of a structure in Hero MotoCo. And here the best part is that we have just completed the base formation and witnessing this traction. So Hero MotoCo is one candidate apart from SDFC, which looks positive and has a potential to do well in the coming week as well. Last on the list, we have a negative structure, that is Bandhan Bank. So in this recent recovery that we had in the banking space, almost all stocks, from the banking basket, be it private or PSUs, majority have participated in the move. Bandhan Bank also made multiple attempts of recovery, but it couldn't surpass the previous resistance zone around 260. In fact, in the starting webinars, the stock was somewhere around here. We used to discuss about this stock that there's a clear-cut breakdown in the stock, and we are anticipating a decline. Since then, multiple attempts, but it couldn't surpass this area and witness the fresh selling pressure. So until we break 260, I doubt that this negative trend that we are seeing in Bandhan Bank, the underperformance that we are seeing in the stock, is going to subside. So this is one such stock that one can look for shorting position. In case if you're holding longs, it could be indication to exit, considering the overall structure that we have, which indicates further decline in coming weeks. So net tone negative for both Nifty and banking. Banking comparatively weaker structure is similar to what we've shared last week. Stock specific, HDFC Life, Hero MotoCo, top two stocks wherein we see potential to do well in the coming week as well. While Bandhan Bank is the weak structure that we have, which may see further selling pressure. So this is all from the presentation part. Now we'll do a quick poll. So please share your feedback. And once you are done with the feedback, you can start posting your question using that Q&A tab. Please quickly fill this feedback, and then you can start posting your question. See, to ask the question, there's a tab Q&A that is written over there. Instead of using that raise an option button, please write down your question using that tab. All right, so let's start with Q&A now. Okay, so the first question from Mr. AR, that why are some stocks always in red, underperforming sector index, not performing for the last 5 years despite good results? On the other hand, their peer companies outperformed despite the bad results. So, see, it's very difficult, Mr. AR, how you are comprehending this. Means it may look good to you, but the expectation could be much higher, and that's why they might not be seeing. Or maybe, like, in the past we've seen a very strong phenomenal move in those names. That's why we are seeing correction or time wise consolidation. So it's very difficult to judge based on this statement, that why we are seeing this kind of move. And it's very usual that, just to give you an example, that during earnings people do have queries around this, that results were good, but why the stock came down. So anyways, the results might be expected like much better than what they have posted. That's why the stock is down. So expectation is something that markets compare the result, and then accordingly we see the reaction. But from the trading point of view, one thing which I would like to share here is that in every market we have new set of leaders. So in case if you are holding underperformer for last several years and still not participating, there must be something wrong with the stock itself. In case if the other stocks from that particular sector is doing well, just to give you an example, that Bandhan Bank, we have seen very strong move in the banking space, but instead of participating on the positive side, it's been gradually declining with every passing month. So staying in such names and anticipating that sooner or later they'll also join the rally or outperform, I doubt that this strategy is going to help you in any way. So the best thing is to accept that you were wrong in your analysis at that point of time, or you didn't maintain the recommended stop losses initially, and take loss and shift to the stocks which are performing well. So again, if you are exiting Bandhan, then you should look for accumulating excess ICICI. This is how your strategy should be. Okay, next we have Mr. Raman Singh on chemical fertilizer space in the near future. Short term, yes, we are seeing decent traction in the fertilizer counters. In fact, last week we talked about Chambal fertilizer during the webinar itself. And we still feel that this positivity which we are seeing in this space is likely to continue. Yes, there could be in between consolidation, profit taking, in line with what we are seeing in the markets. It's natural that we see a pause or decline in line with the benchmark. But broadly, our positive view is intact for this space. But don't be aggressive. As we are now seeing a bit of a profit taking in the mid cap and small cap space also. So that might continue to create issues for the fertilizer counters also, because when you have loss making position and one part of your basket is doing well, at times people do this bad approach of booking profits first and sticking to the losers or add losers. So that could be the reason that we might see some profit taking in the top performing names. But overall, I'm still seeing potential in fertilizer counters. So Mr. Prakash Kumar, as we've mentioned in the beginning itself, that this webinar is not about like, which stock to buy, which stock to sell. Is to give you insight that where we are approaching in terms of the overall market condition. And we do talk about certain stocks like SDFC, Hero MotoCo, which look positive to us. So based on your risk profile, your risk appetite, you can consider going long and short in the discussed stocks. It's not a recommendation that we have. Mr. Priyank, since you missed the initial part on the view of Nifty and banking index, the other way is to go ahead and check our YouTube channel, religareonline.com. There you can see this this program from the beginning. Mr. Lal, as I've recommended that please stick with the stock specs, sector specific queries. Just to add to what you have asked about, like Ultratech as a cement as a space, we are seeing mixed trend continuing. There's no change in that. In fact, with the beginning of the earnings season, it's more prudent that one should stick with the stock specific approach. Just like post numbers, Ultratech has witnessed a very sharp recovery, but still we have names like India Cement and this a couple of names which I can't recall. They're still struggling. Means at the same time we have stock like Ultratech, Orient Cement, wherein we are seeing fresh traction. Then we have Dalmia, Ramco. So maintaining stock specific approach is prudent, especially in cement for the time being now. All right, next on steel sector from Mr. Rajiv Kumar. So see, metal, in fact, till last week, we were seeing very positive indication, but this week it was a bit of a profit taking across the board. So JSW Steel, Tata Steel, Jindal Steel, we usually talk about these names being the top performer. But I feel that if the view is short term, one should wait. In case if you already have a long position, you should maintain stop losses. Comparatively, I expect Tata Steel to be less volatile. So in case if you're holding longs in JSW and Jindal Steel, do maintain very strict stop losses because they are high beta counters and witnesses very sharp move on both sides. Plus, we are into the earnings season also, which further adds to the volatility. But otherwise, from the medium to long term perspective, nothing has changed for the metal counters. But from the short term perspective, I feel that there could be a bit of consolidation of profit taking ahead. Okay, next we have Mr. Shiva Sankaran. A view about Nifty that we have discussed. So I would request you to please go ahead and check our YouTube channel. There you can have this recording for this webinar where you can just go and see. Okay, next we have Daulat Khan on, as you said that Bank Nifty is weaker. Is it for Nifty also? So no, when we say weaker, it means we are comparing it with something. So Nifty is also weak, but Bank Nifty is weaker. So in that context, we have said this. Okay, which sector that one can look to opt for the coming week in the intraday trading? So there's no sector as such, which Lal is holding strong outrightly. We have more of stock specific move that is giving comfort of going long even in this corrective market tone. So, but yes, comparatively better names that we have from the sectoral point of view is pharma, realty, auto, and FMCG. So these four sectors I feel are likely to outperform in the coming week as well. Okay, Mr. Shwashwat Agarwal has question related to derivatives that short straggle. So we have shared the view, Mr. Shwashwat, that banking financials, they are the one basically which are bleeding. So and at this VIX, shorting straddle strangle, uh, it's not prudent until we have very strong directional move and followed by we are anticipating a pause. We still feel that there's a potential of further decline in the banking and financial space. So for the time being, it's prudent to avoid, uh, in my opinion. Okay, Mr. Raman Singh, on how the hotel industry. So hotel stocks, they're still holding strong. So stock like Indian hotels consolidating around the record high, Lemon Tree, Chalet. But yes, it's natural to see profit taking in line with the index, and that is what we are seeing. But overall, we have a positive view, within this space. And for again, for the short-term buying, stick with the sectors which are seeing resilience or seeing buying interest. So as of now, pharma, realty, auto, FMCG, they are the one basically which are giving us that comfort. So, Mr. Ayer, in case if you are associated with us, you can just get in touch with your branch or your business partner. They'll help you out with the latest recommendation that we have. So we have over 50, 60 stocks in our coverage for the long term. So they can guide you accordingly. See, stock specific queries I've requested earlier. Also, please to avoid. Mostly queries are stock specific in nature. So we are skipping those names now. Okay. Next we have Suchi Asthana on what about Nifty, how it will be next week. So again, I guess you missed that part. Just to apprise those who have joined late, was the third query of same nature. View is negative until we break 19,850. Sideways to negative, we will continue. Pressure would extend in case if it breaks 19,400. The 19,200 is going to be the next major area of support. Among the sectors which holds considerable weight in the index, banking looks comparatively weaker. So look for shorting sell opportunities and alongside with the longs that you might be holding and you're planning to hold, do maintain few shorts also. All right, next, Mr. Deepak Kumar in FMCG sector. So FMCG, yes, we have positive view, and in fact, we were seeing that some of these names from the FMCG basket, like HUL, Britannia, we were seeing recovery. Of late, yes, there was a bit of a profit taking. Colgate is anyways among the top performer in the short term. It's trading at the record highs. So yes, we feel that there could be a bit of a consolidation, but comparatively, it's a better structure, or better sector to be in, considering the kind of volatility that we are seeing. And Britannia specifically, has potential to do well from the current levels alongside with Colgate. The rest of these names, like HUL, ITC, Marico, they might continue to witness volatile swings. All right. So next question from Mr. Raman Singh. Is there any separate forum for stock specific query? Yes. So in case if you are associated with Religare, you can route your queries from your branches, your business partner. They can get, these queries addressed by the research team. That's the way that we, work. All right. So with this, I guess we have answered all the queries related to sectors. So stock specific queries, please excuse. All right. So yeah, with this, the presentation ends. Thank you everyone for participating. And next week is The expiry week, yes. So my colleagues are going to come and share the rollover report, how the overall rollover has happened during the month, and the other insights like which all stocks and sectors that one can look at based on the rollover. So till then, take care. Thank you for joining. Thank you once again.